Remember when you first got your phone, you could leave the house in the morning with 100% battery. Use it for hours, watch videos, scroll through social media, take photos, and somehow you still had plenty of battery left at night. But after a year or two, the exact same phone suddenly struggles to make it through the day. And here's the strange part. You didn't necessarily start using your phone differently. So what actually happens to the battery? Why does a battery that once lasted all day slowly become one of the worst parts of your phone? The answer is happening inside the battery itself. Your phone probably uses a lithium-ion battery, and when it's new, the battery can store a certain amount of energy. Think of it like a water tank. When the tank is new, it can hold a lot of water. But imagine using that tank thousands of times. Eventually, its ability to hold the same amount of water starts to decrease. That's basically what happens to your battery. Except instead of water, you are dealing with lithium ions moving between two electrodes. And every time you charge and discharge your phone, you're putting that system through another cycle. But here's where things get interesting. Charging your phone doesn't simply use up the battery. The battery is actually undergoing tiny chemical changes where every time you use it, and those changes slowly add up. Inside a lithium-ion battery, there are several important components. There's a positive electrode and there is a negative electrode. And between them is a material that allows lithium ions to move while keeping the electrodes separate. When your phone is powering your apps, the lithium ions move through the battery's internal system while electrons travel through the phone's circuitry. That movement creates the electrical energy you use the phone. When you charge the phone, the process is initially reversed. The lithium ions are pushed back toward their original side, and this can happen over and over again, hundreds of thousands. Eventually, though, the battery can perform exactly like it did when it's new, and this is the important part. The battery doesn't suddenly become empty. It gradually loses some of its ability to the energy. So a battery that originally could store, for example, 5000 milliamp hours might eventually hold significantly less. Your phone may still say 100%, but that 100% of an old battery isn't the same amount of energy as 100% of a brand new battery. That's why your phone can reach 100% and still seem to die much faster than it is used to. But there's a common misunderstanding about battery cycles. One cycle doesn't mean I plug my phone in once. Instead, a cycle is roughly the equivalent of using 100% of the battery's capacity over time. For example, imagine you using 50% today, charge it, then use another 50% tomorrow. That adds up to roughly one cycle. And as the number of cycles increases, the battery gradually ages. But here's something important. Battery aging isn't perfectly predictable. Two phones with the same battery can age differently. Why? Because your battery's biggest enemies aren't just charging cycles. There are several other factors. And one of the biggest is something you can actually feel: heat. You probably felt your phone get warm while gaming, charging, using GPS, or doing something demanding. And while a little warmth is normal, Excessive heat can accelerate battery aging. That's because the chemical reactions inside the battery become more aggressive as the temperature rises. The repeated exposure to heat temperatures can cause the battery to lose its performance faster. This is why leaving your phone in a hot car, using it heavily while it's already very hot, or consistently exposing it to high temperatures isn't exactly doing the battery any favor. And there's another thing that can create heat: fast charging. Fast charging is incredibly useful. You can plug your phone in for a few short time and get a significant amount of battery back. But depending on the phone and charging conditions, pushing a lot of power into a battery can generate additional heat. Modern phones have systems designed to manage this. They can reduce charging speeds, control temperature, and protect the battery. But the battery still has to deal with the physical and chemical effects of being charged and discharged over its lifetime. Now, this is where battery advice gets confusing. You have probably heard, never charge your phone to 100%, or never let your phone go below 20%. But it's not quite that simple. Modern phones are designed to manage charging intelligently, and you don't need to panic every time your battery reaches 100%. However, lithium-ion batteries generally experience less stress when they spend less time at very high or very low charge levels. That's why many modern phones have features that can limit charging or delay the final part of the charging. For example, your phone might learn your charging routine and hold the battery around lower level before completing the charge closer to which you normally unplug it. The goal is simple: reduce unnecessary stress on the battery. So here's the obvious question: if battery technology is so advanced, why can't manufacturers just make a battery that lasts forever? Because there is a trade-off. A battery has to store a lot of energy while remaining small, light, safe, and capable of delivering power quickly. And it has to do all of this thousands of times. That's incredibly difficult. You could design a battery that prioritizes one characteristic, but improving one area can create compromises somewhere else. And that's why battery technology is still one of the biggest challenges in modern electronics. Your phone can have an incredible processor, a beautiful display, amazing cameras, but none of that matters very much if the battery can't keep everything running. So what can you actually do to keep your battery healthy for long? You don't need to obsess over every percentage. Instead, focus on the big things. Avoid excessive heat. Don't leave your phone baking in direct sunlight or inside a hot car. Use good quality chargers and cables. Your phone has charging protections, but using reliable accessories is still important. Take advantage of your phone's battery protection features if it has them. And if you are doing something extremely demanding while the phone is already hot, give it a break, because you can't stop the battery aging completely, but you can slow down some of things that accelerate it. So the next time you look at your old phone and wonder, why does this thing die so fast? It's not necessarily because the phone suddenly became trouble, and it's not because the battery is simply running out. The battery itself has changed. Thousands of tiny chemical processes have gradually reduced how much energy it can store and how efficiently it can deliver that energy. And that's why your phones can still say 100%, but that 100% isn't what it used to be. The number looks the same, but the battery behind the number isn't. And that's the interesting thing about technology. Sometimes the biggest changes are happening in places we can't even see.